All right, guys. So let's talk a little bit about what's going on right now. So, as you know, the crypto market took a huge dip today. Just looking real quick at my Coinbase, we can see that we have Bitcoin dropping about 10% as it is right now. XRP is about 22%. Litecoin's about 30%. Doge 23. Ethereum's down 20. Cardano's down 16. Polkadot's 28. Helium's down 19. So here's the main thing. If we just look at the patterns of these guys, we can tell that there was a big dip at a time today. Now, the reason for this, and just so you guys know, is mainly because of China. So China has, as of right now, pretty much taken all value away from crypto for their citizens, of course. So not everyone in the world, but just for them. But they are one of the biggest mining countries in the world. So obviously, with them not being able to use that crypto in their own nation, it is affecting them big time. Now, of course, that also rolled over to a lot of other types of cryptos that are being mined, for example, Ethereum, and just overall cryptos in general. You know, the less implementation there is to use them, the less the value actually depreciates on them. So as we know, for example, the companies that are taking accountability in using cryptocurrencies are bringing up the value of these currencies as it is. Now, when we look at this, we can see really huge, big changes. So, for example, today, we can talk about 5:55 a.m. Bitcoin was about 39,000, and then at about 8 a.m., it was down to 33,000. It took a mega dip. It was down 22%. And this is for one of the most stable cryptocurrencies we have in the world right now. It took that big of a dip. Of course, in my opinion, if I would have had a couple $1,000s, I would have invested in this in a second, in a heartbeat, just because of how low it was. This is probably the lowest it's going to be ever. Now, I know everything, this giant crypto crash did scare a lot of people. But in my opinion, and I'm going to make this video very, very quick, it is great for us who are investing in Helium. Helium itself is not a huge currency as we know as of yet, but it's a very big project that's slowly growing. And if we go to that same time frame, about 8 o'clock, check out where we're at. We dropped about 50% from where it was earlier today. So it went about half the price. We were about $17-18 and we're down 50%. Oh my goodness. If I would have known about this, a couple $1,000s worth, we would have been banking minutes later. Look at this, 820, 830, 840. It's back on the rise. Here's the one thing I can tell you about Helium, guys. The project, especially because it's not only diversified only in one nation. Like, for example, it's not just in the US, it's not just in Europe, it's not just in Asia. It's all over the world. It has support from many, many different countries and many, many different companies that are liking the way this project is working and have a lot of support for it. I think the only reason people started selling here is just because of that one scare. Oh, we're scared. They're not going to be able to use cryptocurrencies. China's doing this. China's doing that. Well, you know what? This is the same scenario that happened, back in 2010 when it first came out. Oh, no one's going to accept it, this or that. Believe me, the moment that China realizes that they're going to be losing so much money by trying to ban their own people from being able to use cryptocurrencies, they're going to change their mind. Right now, I think the only thing they're really trying to do is trying to put that scare on their people to be like, hey, you know what? You can't do this. You can't make money without us knowing all this kind of shit that's going on. Sorry, excuse my language. But it's the truth. This is essentially the next generation of money that's going to be coming out, our currency. I mean, there was a point where we used to say, we're not going to be using credit cards. But guess what? We are. Everyone's using them now. It was all about paper cash. And now it's about credit. So believe me, 5-10 years from now, it's going to be all about crypto. I mean, we're still going to have cash. We're still going to use checks, just like we've always have in the past. But this is probably going to be the most common way of paying for things in the near future. But I just want to let you guys know, in my opinion, we can see the reliability. We can see the sustainability of this crypto. Keep invested. Keep growing in this project. I can tell you from my own words and from what I've been reading that we will be able to grow, especially with this project, where the support is growing, the amount of capital is growing, the network is growing, the amount of projects that are going underneath this network is growing. This is amazing, So let's not lose hope in crypto, especially Helium. Let's not lose hope in the project. Let's see us go to the very top. I'm sure still by the end of the year, we're still going to be in something huge, especially when the halving starts in August. The value of this coin is going to go up. We already know all these companies are signing up. They're already going to have to burn helium just to get purchase orders to be able to transfer those data packages, So this is a very, very good project. The way it's being done, the way it's being handled, the way other companies are going to pay to transfer data on the network is extremely cheap. And it's very easy to use crypto to pay for these things. So again, let's not lose hope. Let's look at the positives. If we see any more dips like this, buy it up, absorb it. All that's going to happen is, again, look at this one more time. It went from $8. I can't even get it anymore, but it was $8 at 8 something a.m. up to 13, and so on, and going up even higher, all the way up to 14.42 by 10. So in less than 2 hours, it went up a whole $4. If you would have invested here 40, 50, $100, you would have been making what? About 60% of what you lost almost in the first 2 hours. This could have been a huge, huge positive for anyone's wallet if they would have invested right there and then. But, of course, we have all these companies that, even Binance was down, and a couple other companies. Coinbase was down for a while, even for like Ethereum and Bitcoin, just because they were scared of what was going on. But truth be told, even though these companies are trying to control the amount of loss that's happening, it's going to happen no matter which way you look at it. But it is cryptocurrency. It has its dips. There's people that give it scares constantly 2 to 3 times a year. We have all these massive dips. And then guess what? We have even more major recoveries. Believe me, after this is done, what's going to happen is, especially for a little bit of this time, I guarantee you Europe and United States and other countries are going to even bulk up and speed up the amount of Bitcoin production and hashing they're going to be having. And it's going to go back up again. China's going to realize we're losing. We need to get back on there. We cannot lose this market. I mean, they were the biggest player at the moment, and then they want to drop. Stupid. Anyways, like I said, if you guys have any questions, any concerns, let me know. This is what we're here for. Let's build the network and let's do things together. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.